Hi, folks. Welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. Well, in case you didn't know, we're in a new year. You know, just when I start getting used to putting down one year, it just happens to switch over and I have to start all over again. And it'll take me, I don't know, 6 or 8 months probably to get used to calling this 2023. Of course, it's all in the end just a bunch of days on a calendar that someone at some point in past said that this is the new year. But that's beside the point. A lot of things has happened in the last year or so, and I think a lot is yet to come. And I don't think that that's saying some kind of brilliant revelation. It's just what we already realize. I'm sure many of you have experienced tragedy in your own personal lives. I know for a fact that there's been some really good people within our greater community, folks you online and here locally that have lost some loved ones, some really amazing people that left this world too early. There's been sicknesses. There's been, people lost jobs, people's hoping that they would get out of Babylon by now, and they're still not, that they're still struggling and working, or they're just trying to find someone like them around them. They feel kind of lost in this sea of modernity and liberalism and people that are just asleep. And so they're still trying to find that. I hear from you every day. And what, I wish I could just take all those problems away. And sometimes I'm able to help people connect. And other times it just doesn't work out. I think that 2023 is going to be probably a year to remember. It may not necessarily be that big apocalyptic, last year on the calendar in human history kind of thing. But I think it's going to be a pretty serious year. And I think that there's so many things that are happening that have a great potential that over the next 6 to 12 months of kind of exploding into some new big event that's just going to tear us down even more. I think there's such a good chance of something like that happening because there's so many things that it becomes a point of mathematics. It's just inevitable that something happens. So we have to keep working and trying. But there's also good things, from having this YouTube channel as long as I have, and now especially in the last year. I mean, it's been building before then, but especially in the last year, the amount of people that I have been able to meet in person and meet online, and realize the amount of really, truly good people that are still left in the world. It's more than you think. We tend to see so much negativity. It's how the algorithms work. It's what we've always heard, that, fear sells and bad news sells. And so that's what we hear most of the time. And the fact is that there's more and more of it happening. But there's some really good people still out there. In fact, I'm still convinced that there's more good people than there are bad people. But that being said, that there's a lot more craziness going on, and it seems to just be compounding. Of the evil, wicked people, and then just the mentally insane people. And so those of us that find ourselves in a state of aware of what's going on and feel that calling, that awakening from God, the Father, to kind of draw closer to Him and find others, like ourselves. I think it's becoming more profound, and it's becoming harder because not all the good people are necessarily fall into that category. There's a lot of just generally good people, but they're not really, awake, and they're not really, trying to do something to get ready for the coming days that's happening. And so a lot of you, I think, find yourself feeling that you're alone and that you're such a small minority, in this big sea of nothingness, and you're looking for that connection. Some of you, maybe you're looking for it because you really desire it, and others you're looking for it because Uh, you know it's necessary, whether you want it or not. I mean, some of you are probably like myself, and you might find this a little surprising. I am very much an introvert, and I struggled and still do at times. Um, Doing something that I'm making so many connections and talking to so many people. My wife was actually kind of chuckling at me the other day because I'm the type of person that I hate talking on the phone. I just hate it. I hate even texting, that kind of stuff. When I do, it's usually short and sweet and to the point, and I try my best just to not do it very often. And yet here lately, because of all the things that are going on here locally and through this channel, I spend a large portion of my day, making phone calls, receiving phone calls, doing Zoom calls, emails. That in fact, if I could, if I could turn it into a full-time job with a full-time income, I could do that, because there's just that much of it. And so there's times that it wears on me. I'm not into people that much in one way, but in the other way, I do enjoy it. It's a struggle. It's kind of a battle inside. So some of you are probably that way, and I know that because I hear that from you. I hear the people that are, you email me and you say you need the community. You need to be around others like you. You have your own personal issues. You're not a people person. And so you wonder how it's going to work of being involved in some kind of tribe or community or mag or whatever, when you're just not necessarily a people person yourself. Well, I'm doing it. And I've got brothers and sisters around here that I'd lay down and die for them. And I know they would for me too. And we talk often, usually daily. And so there is a struggle. I have to have my own time to kind of clear my mind because of me being the introvert that I am. I'm rambling. I did have a point to all this, but I don't know. I think it's been lost now. The point is that we've got some hills to go up still, folks. I don't think we're really all that close to being done with this. I could be wrong. 2023 could come roaring through and we could watch inflation drop and interest rates drop. We could see some peace deal with Russia and a peace deal with China and Taiwan. We could see the economy explode and people just do great and all these problems could be fixed this year. But unfortunately, I don't think that's the case. Even the most conservative estimates seem to show that this coming year, or this year now, is probably going to be a little bit worse than last year. Definitely not better, and very possibly worse. And so, I guess to wrap this all up, you need to be getting serious. I know I say it every day. I say it virtually every day of getting your houses in order. And I don't want it to become some cliche. I want it to be real and meaningful because it's true. It's true. We would be absolutely foolish to not heed the warning. The warning signs all around us. Your house is sitting on the beach, and for days they've been warning you that there's a hurricane coming. Hurricane coming. Get ready for it. Evacuate. Batten down the hatches. Do something. And you do nothing. You do absolutely nothing. And then that hurricane's hitting and it's blowing your shutters off and your roof away and flooding your home. And then you're panicked and you're wondering, what do I do? Well, what you should have done was days ago. And that's where we're at right now. We still have time to get ready, albeit probably not as much time as many of you would like. I think you still have time. You still have time to get out of Babylon, to uproot yourself from your comfort zone and on all the things that you're used to being around and the life of ease and maybe taking on a little bit harder life because you've, bought some property and you're kind of starting to live off grid or whatever it is. moving away from family, things that you know, into an area that you may not have a lot of friends and family, or you just don't know the area. Just doing all of this so that you can be more secure with your family, that you're living in a better place. Uh, you know, putting more effort in your preps, putting more effort in developing your skills and training, putting more effort into being part of a like-minded community of individuals. You know, these are things that you can be doing now. And then, of course, most importantly, putting a much stronger effort into your personal relationship with the Father, because it's going to put your relationship to the test. It's going to put your faith to the test. All of this is. I hear it already from people that the struggles that they go through, and most likely the struggles that we are yet to see, are going to really put our faith to the test. So, folks, when I say get your houses in order, I mean it. It's not just me saying it. It's time to do that. We've got to get busy. We've got to make it a priority. I used to say on this channel a long time ago when I started that no, you don't have to make prepping your whole life. That you want to leave time for some pleasure and time for fun and relaxation, and you want to have some off time away from your preparedness lifestyle. It's just about to the point that that's no longer the case. That it does need to be a very prominent fixture in your life, and that on a daily basis you're doing something more to prepare, because that hurricane's coming. Okay, you don't have to be out there in the middle of the ocean to watch it come. You don't even have to see it. You know it's coming. Many of you have experienced this. You don't actually have to visually see the hurricane to know that it's coming. You know it is because the signs are all around you indicating that there's a hurricane on the way. That's the world that we're living in. And it's very possible that that hurricane is just about to crest your horizon to where you can see it. And once it's at that point, I mean, it's either head for the hills or, hope and pray that your preparations were good enough. And so we can't continue sitting around saying, well, I think that hurricane's way further out to the sea. I think I've still got a few more days to prepare. It's not quite that close yet. I've still got some time to go do my normal things, get my hair done and get my nails done, and, go watch a ball game, and, maybe get a little fishing time in before it hits. We're past that point, folks. It's time to start seeing that it's cresting the horizon. It's time to board up the windows and to pack up the bug out vehicle or whatever it is that you would have to do during a hurricane. It's time to start doing that kind of stuff in your life now, because that hurricane could very possibly pop over the horizon at any moment. And we need to be prepared for that, because I think, I could be wrong, but I think that this that's coming at us, it's going to be a much bigger blow. It's kind of like the waves, they start off little and then they get bigger and bigger. This wave of whatever that's coming at us, whatever hits first, and this year, I feel that it has the strong possibility of being way worse than what we've experienced in the last few years. Economically, health-wise, war-wise, trampling of the rights, whatever it is. I think that there's a strong possibility of this being significantly worse. So don't find yourself just waiting around doing nothing. Get busy. You are the good people that I was talking about. You listeners that watch this channel are those good people. And do what you can. And even though you may say, I've been doing all that, I've been doing that, try to see if you can do a little bit more. See what you can push yourself a little bit further. Because I think all of us can, including myself, can push ourselves a little bit further. And if you do the New Year's resolution things, I don't, but that's fine if you want to. That maybe should be one of them, to push yourself a little bit harder this year when it comes to getting yourself, your life, your family, your home in order and prepared, because it could be a very wild ride this year. Folks, get your houses in order, prepare mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.